Hi there, Aisha. I see you.
Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Rick.
Hi, Dan. An appropriate meme behind you. That's kind of cool. Where'd you get that? The sign behind you, Dan, where'd you get that?
Oh, a friend from North Carolina sent that to me.
Oh, cool.
She's interested in writing poetry, and I've been sort of helping her along. But yeah, I thought you were going to ask me who's the guy with the silver eyes.
Oh, we have Judith coming in too. Hi, Judith. I see you lurking out there.
Hi.
Hey, John.
Hey, bud. How are you?
Good, good. Great to see you.
Fortunately, we don't have a very wide camera.
Bill's here too.
Oh, what beautiful flowers. Look at those.
Yeah, if we could ever show you our yard again. If we could ever have a performance there, right?
Yeah, they have a beautiful yard. They do an annual poetry reading there for Judith students.
Oh, nice.
And ravens.
Okay, we gotta get 3 chairs.
Hi, Raven.
Hi.
You're hiding.
Be right back.
Judith, are those morning glories behind you?
Petunias,
What are they?
petunias,
Oh, petunias.
yeah. They don't look like that anymore.
Beautiful, beautiful color.
Thank you.
Anybody else hear that TikTok?
Yeah, I hear that too. Does somebody have some kind of metronome sounding thing in the background?
I thought that was you.
No,
Nope.
Mm.
I don't even chew gum. I can't do that and other things at the same time.
Well, something mechanical then.
It's gone. No, I hear it again.
Maybe if we mute one at a time, we'll figure out where it's coming from.
Okay.
Okay, here I go.
No, it's not Dan. Oh, it just went away.
The ceiling fan,
Sounds good. Could be a ceiling fan. Yeah.
Aisha? Oh, it's gone
Yes.
now.
It stopped.
It's gone, yeah. Raven.
If you could unmute Dan, it's not you. Yeah, it seems to have stopped. Might be, maybe it's Catherine. Oh, Aisha, could that be your, no, Aisha's not unmuted right now. It's not Aisha.
I see it
Nope.
on the screen.
Yeah, because it did sort of sound a little bit like I have sometimes when I hear overhead fans, sometimes they scrape a little bit as they go around, but
Nope, this is not, nope, it's silent.
yeah, because you're not muted, so it's not coming from you.
No,
Catherine's muted right now. Catherine, why don't you unmute yourself? Let's see if it's you.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Is there any problem from my direction? I don't have additional machines or gadgets attached.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it now.
I can do video.
Yeah,
You can do video, yeah.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, Sue. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Cleo.
hello.
You got a Black Panther behind you, Rick.
where?
That's Tank.
Oh, Tank. What a great
Yeah,
name.
he's like,
Smile more.
he just had his annual vet appointment. He's like 13 pounds.
He's celebrating.
We'll give it another minute and then we'll start.
Oh, look at that eye.
Okay, fix it. Never know.
Judith. Hi, Judith.
hello, I saw you. Hi.
Hello, Allegra. Hello, Norma.
Oh,
Hi, Cleo. Norma.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Tabati.
Hi, Derek.
How you doing?
Hi.
Wow, we have a great turnout today. So I want to give you all a heads up that for next month, I'll say this again at the end because you may have some people coming in late. We will have a special occasion. We have Elizabeth Verdun will be calling in from Portugal. She is from Sacramento area and relocated and is now living in Portugal and travels around in Europe. So we will have her. She will be the featured reader for October 24th, a special time at 12 noon to accommodate the time differences. And also want to make a mention that we're planning to do the first of 3 hour-long workshops for youth starting on October 13th from 4 to 5 online, and also on November 10th and December 8th. The topic will be raising the voltage of our voices. Some of you may have already seen the video that we did. I'm in the process of revising the video. What we did is we rescheduled that. We had lots of verbal commitments from students at the time, and what happened was they lifted all the restrictions. It was like the week after school, and people just disappeared. So we wanted to, we're going to start again on October 13th. Welcome, everyone. We have 2 outstanding poets today, Raven Sisco and Aeishaj Jones. We'll go with Raven first. Raven teaches English English language development, and creative writing at Mount Pleasant High School in East Side, San Jose, California. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, she also serves as the advisor for literary magazine, the Creative Writing Club, that produces the school art and literary magazine, the Cardinal Quill. This publication, which is entirely student-produced, has won awards from Columbia University. Her work has appeared in literary magazines and anthologies from coast to coast, including the states of Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, and Illinois, Kentucky, Maine, Missouri, New York, Utah, and of course, her home state of California. I should have taken a bigger, deeper breath for that. She reached the status of international poet in 2012 through her publication in Melbourne, Australia's distinguished poetry magazine, Rabbit. Among her various awards, she is the proudest of several California Federation of Chaparral Poets Student Contest Awards from when she herself was a student. Most recently, as an adult, she has served as the Chaparral Student Contest Chair, giving students the same opportunity for recognition that she herself received in high school. During the lockdown, she taught through Zoom, earned a master's in curriculum and instruction in 6 months. That's got to be record time, and published 2 books composed of hybrid poetry and prose. Tempest reflects her, and Tempest is the title of her work, reflects her journey of becoming a poet teacher while unprecedented explorations as to what it was like to be in education during the era of COVID-19. So please mute yourselves, and I will turn things over to Raven. Welcome, Raven.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited and a little nervous. I haven't read in a while, actually. So, okay. So I'm going to start by saying a little bit of like my style. I have a dark thread through my poetry, as Judith knows. And I also tend towards social commentary and kind of just talking about the things that I'm seeing around me. So, okay. But my first poem is for my dad. Heritage. From my father, I have inherited coiled curls that he wore down and long without reservation in high school hallways. I have inherited my love of education because learning about astronomical phenomena and potent political figures and vibrant historical escapades was always an important part of our evening meals. I have inherited a strong bond with my family. He gave me 5 sisters and 2 brothers to play important roles in my life and the opportunity to play a part in theirs. I have inherited a fondness for sports. As my most important coach, he's always in the back of my head when I'm coaching or teaching. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I often have to remind myself of this as I strive forward in my profession and my life. He has uh-oh, sorry. Where did I leave off? I'll go back a stanza because I got dropped.
Yeah, we lost you for a second. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. I have inherited a fondness for sports. As my most important coach, he's always in the back of my head when I'm coaching or teaching. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I often have to remind myself of this as I strive forward in my profession and my life. He has opened the doors that have led me to the career of my dreams. Now I can give my students the sense of self-importance and courage to pursue dreams that he has planted in me. Thank you. I had to look back at the screen. Okay. All right, this next one was written during lockdown. the maze. I have been pacing around my house. How long has it been? Time, cloudy as ever, passes as the prophecy flows from the hands of time into our ears. Flying, shot down by an arrow, discouraged from our natural migration, we become terrified as the scarabs gather outside our windows, crawling up the walls. Walking in circles, covering our ears and our mouths to avoid infection, we call on ancient magic to unlock our freedom from the trunk it has been wrestled into. We must adjust our masks as we lose time, hope, and our minds. Thank you.
For those of you who may be here for the first time, since you're muted, we usually, you can hit your button to applaud or a heart, or you can, do a silent clap, or sometimes people wiggle their fingers like this.
In the forest. I have twisted myself up, tangled in a ribbon that was supposed to lead me home, caught under a tree, staring up through naked branches as I, too, am reflected in that nakedness and self-abhorrence. As I twist this ribbon, black velvet around my knuckles, I approach a cave, the stone womb I have chosen as my mother. I crawl back into the birth canal, cold, smooth, impersonal. I lie on in the darkness and cradle the chemical kisses between my lips, clutching something between this simulation and the next. I wonder if I have cracked the code, hacked the binary in the fabric of this universe as I attempt to peel back that layer of myself, of this rebirth, of this reality. But suddenly I am tugged back forcefully by that black velvet ribbon. I am reminded of memories and outcries from loved ones that force me to crawl back home. Thank you. Eve's confession. In my hour of abandonment, I wonder why every breath tastes bitter. What can I say or do to make you know the loss I feel? Where have you gone? Our love, a fragile flower. Did it die inside you when he exiled us from the garden? Like the serpent, we wander, defiled, unable to find our way back to the paradise of you and me, now vagabonds in the dust, like my tempter. I told you my sweet secret. It festered until you fell with me and could no longer remember the taste of apples. I weep for lost knowledge and long for your return. Thank you. So this next one was written in memory of the victims of the VTA shooting. Faded. It could happen to you. Wake up, drink cheap coffee, work all day at a job that destroys you, crumble into the couch, watch the news, watch people argue, watch people hate, fall asleep to grim forecasts ringing in your ears, wake up with nothing to look forward to except cheap coffee. It could happen to you. Everyone worships the ones who run the wheel like hamsters, who don't ask for help, who revoke mental health days, scoff at those who lack the energy to run. It could happen to you. he walks into your office because he is sick of the cycle, because he thinks that somebody owes him more than monotony. He is a walking semi-automatic, firing bullets from his eyes without care of who is caught in the crossfire. It could happen to you. Adrenaline pumps into every corner until that bulleted gaze lands on you, and red washes up into your brain while you try to. It could happen to you. A phone call informs her that she will never hear your voice again because somebody wanted revenge. Until we learn to love, to rest, to ask for help, it could happen to you. Thank you. I have 2 more and then I'm done. This next one is from when I was very deep into being sick. Torrent. I felt my body caving in on itself. My protective layer slowly eroded when I stood exposed in front of the bathroom mirror. I could count the ribs protruding from my torso. My hip bones jutted sharply from my sides. My gaunt face looked twisted, demonic. I hadn't showered for 2 days. I had been buried alive by my own fatigue. I was caked in last night's terror sweat and the heat of an anxious fever. Finally, I turned on the water and stepped into the shower, careful not to make the water too hot because it would shut my vision out, invite in the blackness. The cool water made my puffy, tangled hair press against my neck, shoulders, down my back. I hadn't gotten a haircut for over a year because since December, I was too nervous to leave the house. But the water, with my worries, swirled down into the drain. I managed to stay in the shower long enough to thoroughly wash my face. Clean body, clean, deep breathing. The fever washed away with some imaginary layer of skin, perhaps the layer that was keeping me from healing. Every day, sometimes every hour, every minute, we fight small battles. Sometimes our brains and our bodies work together to combat the enemy. Other times, there's infighting. Today, I won the battle with the shower. Someday, I won't remember how difficult it was to prepare for it. I'll get up, hop into the heated water as I get ready for work without thinking twice about the consequences. But for now, I relish the sanctity of being able to cleanse myself each day, both my body and mind. Thank you. Okay. And is it possible for me to share my screen? Because this is an ekphrastic poem, actually. It's inspired by a painting. Could you let me do that, Rick?
You're right. Here we go. Share screen. Let's see. I have to transfer to you. Let's see.
Okay.
Make host. There you go. You're now the host.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll give it back. Okay. So this is a painting that I was shown, but it's not really, it's a mashup of The Scream, the famous The Scream, and then The Persistence of Memory. So this is what this poem was inspired by. So just to have that lovely image in your mind. So here, let me make you host again. All right, here's my last one. Coalescence. The dock runs away from me. My right foot tingles as I start to lose feeling in my toes. I press my hands to my face, turning to look over my shoulder. Time chases me. The hands on the clocks are actually feet that carry the seconds to pursue me. I am trapped in a dream that tastes like life. When I wake, wrapped in sweat like a shroud, sinking into my mattress, I don't know the difference between shadows and objects. Awareness washes the night away, but doubt lingers on my soul like a latent ink stain. Perhaps that is reality, some kind of mashup of the absurd and the predictable, and me, unable to draw lines between dreams and my destiny. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Thank
Nice
you very much.
job.
Go ahead and unmute yourselves. For those who are new here, this is give a chance to give some feedback to the poet.
Oh no. I mean, yes.
Really nice job,
Raven.
Raven.
Thank
My
you.
absolute favorite line of yours was your father's. You're going to miss 100% of the throws that you don't make.
Mhm.
That is just such an amazing thing to remember. Thank you. And what you did with putting with that picture that puts together the distance of time and the scream. It was just wild, that picture, and what you did was fabulous.
Thank you so much.
A line I liked was, or a phrase was firing bullets from his eyes and the crossfire.
Thank you.
Nice that you wrote about that. Not many people write about things like that.
True.
Raven, would you repeat the last line of your last poem? You said it was the line between this and that.
Yes, let me go open this back up. Okay, so it's and me unable to draw lines between dreams and my destiny.
Very good. I like that line.
Thank you.
Yes.
I like the whole poem, but especially like that line.
Yeah.
Raven, I liked the shower poem, and I especially like the idea that illness is like some sort of a covering on your body, like sweat or something, that you can hop into the shower and eventually get rid of it and eventually feel better. I like that image. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the one about the shower, because I liked it because you took an ordinary thing and turned it into something unordinary. But your hope is that eventually it become back ordinary and day to day. So when you're going through a transition a lot in your life, it's the day-to-day things that you have difficulty with. So I thought that was good. And in addition, I love the way you put those two pictures together. That was really incredible. I really like that. It really gives you ideas of two works of art that we could put together ourselves and write about. So yeah, I like that a lot. Because both of those pictures are pictures that I think I would say most of us have some familiarity with. I know I've seen both of them because I like Dolly and I like the other one. So yeah, thank you. I like that.
Thank you.
There were a number of lines that jumped out to me. The first one, the prophecy of the flow of time. The stone cave that I have chosen as my mother. Unable to find the paradise of you and me. Crumbling into the couch. I adore that one. The water with my worries swirling down into the drain. And I am trapped in a dream that tastes like life. Just beautiful. Thank you, Raven.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Here.
Hi.
Hi.
Did I hit the right button?
Yeah, I can hear you, Norma.
Well, just sort of a general feeling and response to the whole array of poems, which were a beautiful variety of things. And not only your own experience or from the first, not only from the first person, but about someone else too. And the love poem was so good. All of your work, the whole body of your work impressed me a lot because of your wonderful use of words. And so they've been mentioned by others, so I won't attempt to enhance that parade of figures of speech and so on. But anyway, such a good use of figures of speech too, metaphors and similes, which, you know, brighten and intensify and clarify what the feelings and the sensations that you're telling us about. Awfully nice, Raven.
Thank you.
Tapati, it looks like you're raising your hand. If you want to say
Yes,
ahead.
I wanted to say something to Raven. I really liked where you said you would like to crawl back into mother's womb. And I thought I was the only one. When I am in trouble, I want to crawl back into my mother's womb. I found out that there's somebody else who thinks the same way I do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, you know, I don't know your work that well, but I think that your opening and closing of each poem, it's like the cover of a book. Each one is a separate thing, and each has the, you know, the strong opening and the strong closing. A couple of them ended in, you know, the three words, this, and this. And it was da-da, you know, you went out, you came in strong and you closed strong. And that's one of the really important to remember, I think.
For context, for Judith's joke, I was her student for 7 years, so, and even continued probably after that. But yeah, she doesn't know my work well at all.
But I mean, most of those were new. There was just one or two from back a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you really got both of those things. You left us with something to remember, and you opened by drawing us in, and it was lovely.
Thank you, Judith.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Raven. So we will now have Aeishaj.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Am I coming in clear?
Coming in great. Let me give you an
Okay,
introduction
because-
here. Aeishaj gave me this bio. It says
Yes.
Aeishaj Jones, creator, poet, mother, grandmother, sister, woman, friend, an Aquarius seeker of truth. Loves RJ, Deja, Desiree, Destiny, embraces freedom fighters, Odetta, Tony, Nina, Lady Day, Alice. Devours vanilla ice cream. Favors deep purple or lavender, rainy nights, autumn leaves, hummingbirds, solstice. Her
Yes.
publications include the Sacramento News and Review, Brevities, Voices from the years 2018, 2019, and 2020. Therefore I Write from Zika Anthology in 2018. The Heart Poetry Anthology, years 2018, 2019, 2020, and finally Poems for All in 2020. And she says she's working on her chapbook. Take it away, Aisha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are you seeing me, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, because on my screen I have everybody. I'm looking at everybody. Okay, one of the first things I wrote about, people ask you, well, who are you? And I thought, this is who I am. I am an old woman wearing a red hat on an antsy, muggy summer night. That's who I am. This next poem,
Aisha, I accidentally muted you.
myself,
There we
am I
go.
okay now?
Yeah, that was my fault. Go ahead.
Okay, I attend the poetry writing group from Trinity Cathedral on Thursday afternoon. And we get prompts sometime and then we write about them. So this is a prompt from L. Cohen. Something in me that was broken, cracked, it becomes whole. The cracks, if I write in them with utter honesty, are where the light gets in. The present meets the past and the healing begins. Brokenness. My wholeness is broken. It is veined with gray black rivers, zigzag courses of life anguish, broken promises, ruthless words. My cracks are not like kintsugi, repaired Japanese pottery. Broken parts filled or healed with powdered gold, silver, platinum. Flaws are not always renewed, beautiful works of art. Sometimes, like Humpty Dumpty, cracks cannot be put back together again. Thank you. I like nature. And this gray whales glide on turbulent waters, their backs covered with braided ridges, jagged scars, just like my heart. Thank you. Now this next poem, this is based on an actual experience I've had and that we all had. That a few years ago, after my father passed, my brother sent me a box with some of his things in it. And so, and in having this experience, it's a note to my son. I sort daddy's boxes for the final time. Brother's handmade 4th grade Father's Day card. Bunty's 2nd and 3rd grade report cards. A picture of brother, a 17-year-old man-child in Army dress uniform. I am amazed to discover our gruff father's stash of our love offerings. I sort through pictures, documents, boxes, accumulated memories. Suddenly, the future stays my hand. I wonder, years hence, what treasures will amaze you when sorting my boxes. Thank you. But this is from Heart Writing Center. This was inspired by a movie I saw and things you will see on the street. It's entitled Today. Most days, he's the junkie on the corner, stank begging spare change for his next hit. Most days, he's a junkie nodding off on park benches, dressed in unwashed clothes between worlds. Today, he's the knock on the door, my answered prayer, bouncing a ball, challenging a Saturday afternoon of hoops, bringing an icy cold drink, New King's purple hat. Today, he's comfort, warm arms, hugging me goodnight. Shaky fingers wipe away tears. He promises to be back soon. Today, he is my father. Blonde children. Early fall evening, gray dust, daylight savings time, midweek drive home. Angry radio announcers rants about a recent kidnap attempt of a young girl. I nod in unison, share his anger. No, I don't want a pedophile living near schools. Yes, community members have a right to know if a convicted child molester is living in their midst. I stop at a red light. He shouts in outrage. How would you like a freak near your beautiful blonde children? I sit in stunned silence as the beautiful faces of Desiree, Deja, Esther, Amy, Shakira, Amira float in front of me. Red light turns green. Car horns blare. I shake my head, step on the accelerator. Okay, this is another one about who I am. It's entitled Doll's Play. I am the doll you would not play with. I am the doll thrown in the corner, alone, abandoned, left in shadows. I am the doll you call stupid as you kick and punch me. I am the doll lurking in the family closet amid sun-proof umbrellas. I am the doll whose mirror reflections lie in shattered pieces and night terrors. I am the dark doll. Habiba. This is very timely, what's going on in our society. Habiba, inquisitive reader, creative homemaker, concerned citizen, walks quickly on the tree-lined street, carries freshly made pistachio muffins, sees a newly printed sign on her neighbor's white picket fence. Curb your dog. Immigrants go home. Habiba hesitates, adjusts her hijab, ponders if she is still welcome at the neighborhood watch meeting, struggles to open the gate latch. Yeah. Legacy. At first glance into a newborn's eyes, mothers see wobbly steps, lost teeth, goodbye waves at the kindergarten door. Mothers also see costs of summer camp, guitar lessons, lost chemistry books, increased car insurance, senior class trips. However, Black mothers must also figure in their sons being profiled as a thief a rapist, a murderer who will be shot on sight. No, Frappuccino, I like Frappuccino. And this is an afternoon Frappuccino. Late weekday afternoon, crowded coffee shop, college students, afternoon shift workers, retirees, huddle in conversation groups. News-inspired words rise above the din. Other words, us, ours, our country, are said casually by those whose kinship, belonging, inclusion is unquestioned. These seemingly simple words do not sound lightly from the mouths of Americans who toil and harvest in hot fields, descendants of slaves who fought to sit in the front of a bus, or those whose first language is birthed in a different clime. We, our country, our rights, are words never spoken easily by those of tightly coiled naps, full lips, skin tones of peach, cinnamon, merlot, coal. Our rights as Americans are words of unfulfilled history, unkept promises lodged in our throat, choking and gagging us. Now this is a, who am I? Homage to my hometown. It's called Doomsayers. Doomsayers predict Detroit will never recover, but do not see abandoned lots revived, resplendent verdant grasslands with multi-hued flowers. Do not hear Saturday afternoon palm slaps of young brothers shooting hoops on concrete courts echo through the hood. Are not enchanted by young girls double Dutch rope jumping on streets singing anew. Ice cream, soda, cherry on top. Tell me the name of your sweetheart. Until mother's calls or streetlights call them home. Doomsayers have no faith in egg-filled nests and window frames of forsaken homes, heralds of spring. Thank you. Moonlight vision. My ancestors trekked over muddy streams, plodded through mosquito-swarmed fields, treaded back roads, illuminated by Luna's guiding spirit light to freedom. Okay, how are we doing time-wise? Am I okay time-wise?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Black man, I don't have a title for this one yet. Black man, hands cuffed, ropes tied, trudges between two white policemen mounted on beige horses on a Galveston, Texas road, one hot, sweaty afternoon recently. This is loss. LaMisha full hips no longer suggestively sway to the rhythmic drums' insistent erotic request. Her ample breasts cease bouncing and count with the bass, nor do her dark brown nipples harden in pulsating harmony with honeyed horns. Spirited feet no longer high kick in celebration, nor does her spirit soar, get happy, or rest upon clouds. LaMisha no longer naturally throws her ass when walking, laugh in her heart during loving, nor run naked in the moon's uplifting rays. After they straightened her hair. Different views. It is bleak winter gray. Quasi takes a sip of latte, looks out the window, says, it's quite cold out. The wind blusters louder, vicious. Snowflakes swirl tornado-like. A shout breaks the zen quiet. I am leaving you. Winds moan louder. Snow whirls fiercely. A louder, firmer voice repeats, I said, I am leaving you. Quasi finishes the steaming hot latte, looks out the window, declares, I think the storm will blow over soon. Thank you. Oh, this is another one from our Heart Anthology. Heart Center Anthology, Norma. Okay. This was inspired by my granddaughters. She drew a picture spontaneously of a lion. It was in a cage. And that bothered me. The poem is called Captivity. Our lions flash razor sharp canine sabers. Roars sound for miles. Males violently shake their unruly bushy mane. Patrol on sinewy, strong legs and ready to pounce. Our lions are fearsome yellow eyes in dark shadows. Our grandchildren's lions are languid creatures pacing in a faux savanna, tails swatting flies. The difference. My next one is quail. Will a wind-fluttered nightgown, dreamlike moon radiance, conjuring memories of gentle hands, adorning my nakedness with flowers, make me forget a slammed door, broken mirror, glass shards, bloody footsteps beneath a window out of which I cursed your name. That was published previously in Brevities. Okay, two more. Nightly, my fluffy tan brown cat, sister woman, serenely stretches out on the gray brick balcony wall. A silent late night, early morning wind gently ruffles her fur. She shuts her eyes. Tiny dancers. Engineers hypothesize hummingbirds should not be able to fly. Their diminutive bodies are not aeronautically correct. Yet daily, I delight in their zigzag backwards flights. My last one is a nod to John Donne. I am also involved in, I am also involved in humanity. Each man and each woman's life enriches me. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Okay, everybody.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I've always loved, one of the reasons why I wanted you to join us is I've just always said, I love the power and the passion of your poetry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you for being here.
I really enjoyed all of the levels of life in those poems, all the experiences of life. And I think that her granddaughters have a really splendid grandmother who can create such things. But I thought that the poem, they were all wonderful, but the poem Doll I thought was exceptionally, an exceptional experience that we should all share, you know?
I need to follow up on that because I found that poem, I Am a Doll, was so moving. It was just, for me, amazing. And also the poem about the box with your father's treasures and things we discover sometimes that we don't realize, that was to me so very moving. And I love that you opened with just, I am an old woman with a red hat. It was so delightful. Saying, and I just think all of your poems just brought us such a wonderful depth of experience. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Am I audible?
You're audible.
You're audible.
Well, I wish that we could see the short poems because we could savor them more effectively, but that is not possible. So, and I enjoy the sharing of Aeishaj's cultural perspective and experience. And we cannot go without saying how useful that is, how important it is that she can help us feel and faintly understand what it means to be part of, to be in her culture. And we need that so much. I'm with Allegra at being enormously touched by the father's spot. And also the person on her doorstep. And of course, there's a connection there. But the one about the box it's kind of a universal, isn't it?
Yeah.
We all find letters, thinking of expressions, boxes full of a life experience that we didn't taste or understand when it was happening. And I thought it was so beautifully done.
Aeishaj.
Hello. Oh.
Go ahead, Patty.
Okay, I won't take long, Sue. Aeishaj, when you described about rapists and murderers shot on sight, we forget to think that there is someone, the mother, whose heart is broken into pieces with that bullet. We hardly ever think of her. And thank you for touching that. No matter what the son is, a mother never stops loving that child. And on a lighter note, I like the way the hummingbird flies on a zigzag way instead of backward to forward. Thank you.
I agree.
So Aeishaj, great reading. Wonderful. I came up with a couple phrases. There were so many good ones, I could hardly write them down, but I did like accumulated memories. And then there was one between worlds. And let's see, Doomsayers. I really liked that poem. That was good. So thanks for reading. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I loved Moonlight Vision and the sensuality of that, and the way that you brought that to such a powerful ending about I think the last line was about her straightening her hair.
Yeah.
Aisha,
Yes,
the last line was about her straightening her hair.
that was in Lamisha. That was
Okay.
about Lamisha. She was
Right.
about her straightening her hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that called Moonlight Vision?
Yeah.
Aisha,
Stephen, wait. Let me shut up.
Sue, why don't you mute?
I just left. Go ahead.
Okay, Aisha, I liked the one of the first ones where you were talking about stop sign, and you were in that community and then you just were seeing all this and then you just drove on. And I thought that was a very good poem, or very good looking of it.
Yeah, I think that was the Blonde Children.
Yeah, that's right. Blind children.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It made me also made me think about all the publicity that that poor young girl that was killed, but at the same time there's so many women of color that in that same general area that have gotten zero publicity.
Yeah, that issue has been raised recently on the internet, especially. People said, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" Hey, we understand the pain, but on the other hand, there are other issues too. So yeah.
Aisha, I really loved how each poem was kind of like a vignette, like a little taste of something. Like you had different characters. Some were closer to you yourself as the poet, but then also some seemed a little further away, like looking at other people. And I like that your voice really shone through in the poems, and sometimes it was serious, sometimes humorous, but kind of like wove it together in a way that worked. And I especially loved, besides all the social commentary, I especially loved the whale poem. Like, it was very short, but it was very just hit me. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank everybody. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. So we will open it up now. Is there somebody else?
Yes, I would just like to say that one of the reasons I love listening to poets read is they bring up so many ideas for poems that I either have written or can write, because they bring up memories or topics that I haven't written about and that I have so much to say. So this happened with the Aeishaj, especially with the Who Am I poems. I've written poems of I am from. It's a little different slant, but I'm going to try Who Are You poems too. And the other one, the legacy with the boxes, what your parents preserve, and you have no idea that they even noticed it, So I really appreciated those poems.
Thank you. Allegra, hi. She read yesterday. Allegra read yesterday at Poetry Center.
It was so much fun. That was just a great meeting.
So we'll open this up now to an open mic. If somebody would like to share a poem or two.
I will, if no one is going to jump in. I didn't sign up for it, but I do have a poem. Somebody mentioned that they had just written this poem. The Scream was an ekphrastic poem. The assignment 2 weeks ago was to write an ekphrastic poem, and the picture that was chosen was of a yellow garden orb spider. I don't know if you have those out in California. I'm in North Carolina, but it's I don't even have to describe it. I hope you get it from the poem. So it definitely is an ekphrastic poem. It's called Yellow Garden Orb Spider Spins a Web. Its web is a bit unconventional. Irregular silk strands spanned out to hold cross strands in place. It is not tightly woven. Across the web lies an intricate crocheted zigzag scarf, longer than the web and artistically dangling down. Perhaps the purpose is to attract your prey with an art piece so unusual the attached web is not noticed. The spider is an art piece as well. Its 8 legs are thin lines of alternating yellow and black. I decided the spider is female. Her elongated body sports an artistic black pattern upon a yellow background. It looks like a Rorschach ink blot. I see a narrow waisted lady wearing a tight skirt with a beehive hairdo. She decided to try something different. The same old web gets boring after a while. Look her up on the web. It's a very interesting looking spider.
Right.
Oh, Rick, I'd like to read one.
Okay, go for it, Dan.
I spent a number of years in Calaveras County. If you've ever been there, it's quite a natural world there. And with all this talk of build it back better and infrastructure and all of that, I got to thinking about infrastructure and the whole idea. I know in the 1820s, 1830s, from what I know of history, we didn't have much of an infrastructure in this country, just dirt roads between little hamlets. Basically, that was it. And there was a telegraph, and that was it. So I'm wondering, how do we get these kinds of infrastructures that we get that are so complex? I remember back in the early 60s or late 50s was the time that they built the first highway interchange in LA, the Cloverleaf. And that was supposed to take care of all the problems of backed up traffic and things. And it probably did for maybe a week or two, but it didn't do much after that. So we try and we experiment, we try to deal with infrastructure. But this poem is called We Need Insurance. We like the feel of the mountains, clean air and clean water, space to stretch and roam, but wait, you want a place to shop. That's what you need right now. But if you get one, laws of competition demand that you have at least 2. And say folks want to buy a burger, why should they be forced to eat fried when there's also flame broiled? And what about chicken and pizza? What about something to wash it down? And how about them liquor stores and drugstores handy to our collective thirsts and indigestion? We need miles of roadways to connect the interstices of everyone's choices, and cars and trucks to get around once we've made our choices, and jobs, light industry, hell, heavy industry. We've got to have jobs to pay for the cars. And we need a place to park the damn car the day we bring it home from the showroom. We need garages, and somebody's got to hang close to keep an eye on that garage. And a house is just the thing for that. If there's a golf course nearby, all the better. But what if the house and garage should burn down? We need insurance. That's what we need right now.
Oh, dear.
My second poem, I spent some time one day in a casino, and they had a group of slot machines that were based on the TV program. What is it called? Wheel of Fortune. And at the beginning of the TV program, the audience all call out Wheel of Fortune. And so this soundbite was coming into the casino every 4 or 5 minutes, kind of making almost a chorus, making a comment about everything that was going on in that casino. And this one's called Hungry Heart. Evening in the Atlantis Casino. Just that time when the sun sets over the Sierra, nobody giving a damn, focused on their slots or 21 or roulette, stunned and stultified by the buffet of cutlets misted in nicotine smoke. Lou Palamoni and the Rockets had just finished their cover of Bad to the Bone. In the lull that is bells, coin spillage, canned Bobby Darin hits, and that strange chorus, Wheel of Fortune, comes the very real, outraged scream of a homeless man stopped at the buffet door, cursing everyone around him. Security in suits with curly cord ears back off. Watch his ragged exit. Lou on stage and the Rockets stare at him. So does everyone else for the space of 2 or 3 beats. Wheel of Fortune. Then the drums, the guitar, the bass and synthesizer. Lou's sequins come alive once again as he takes command of his kingdom of complimentary drinks, intoning into his microphone, everybody's got a hungry heart.
Great, Dan.
That's funny.
I'd like to read a poem.
Thank you.
All right. This is called Opening. It's a sonnet. I would travel into time's delight with songs of larks to tell their tales to me that bring again the peace of field and tree and stay the shadows of the coming night. And when I've stumbled into second sight, there'll be a sacred place that sets me free for all the things that I was meant to be, where I once feared to go, but now I might. Insistent as the ticking of the clock, inviting as the tunes that make me dance, quiet as the clouds in their display, I hear a whisper in a roadside rock and feel it bidding me to take a chance, to open gates I thought had blocked my way.
Thank you, Allegra.
Inspiring.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I have a couple. This first one is, I think, maybe the strangest poem that I've written. I had a dream, about my late son, and for some reason, the second thought I had when I woke up was saw myself back in school with a science experiment when we had the potatoes and sticking them with toothpicks and half in and half out of a jar of water.
Yeah.
So this one's called Reset Button. People were like potatoes. I would plant what remains in the dark, rich soil. Leaves and vines would spring, and I could see you grow again. If people were like potatoes, graveyards would be, hello again, a station for going and coming, and resume where we left off before so rude an interruption.
Oh,
In my second one, it's called the Karma Yoga of Therapy, and that there's in the yoga tradition, there's different paths of yoga. There Hatha yoga and what's the other one? Raja yoga, and Karma yoga is the sort of the path of good works. In the alchemy of a moment, words travel through ether. A soul unspools past sins. Lead transmutes into gold. Drawbridge of the citadel falls. The kaleidoscope of memory as the door opens to an undiscovered country. As the shaman bears witness, a heart combusts with joy. A purpose again fulfilled, and a sweetness lingers. In poem. And a really good therapy session with one of my
Rick,
clients.
hey, Rick, could you read that one again? It broke up.
Oh, sure. In the alchemy of a moment, words travel through ether. A soul unspools past sins. Lead transmutes into gold. Drawbridge of the citadel falls. The kaleidoscope of memory as the door opens to an undiscovered country. As the shaman bears witness, a heart combusts with joy. A purpose again fulfilled, and a sweetness lingers.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I love the just the image of the alchemy of the moment. It's just exquisite.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that alchemy image is very rich, very rich. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I like the kaleidoscopic door.
So
That
did
phrase,
I like that.
yeah.
Really nice.
Anyone else?
Well, I'll share a couple. And I think I'm going to settle for a couple of that were written quite a long time ago when my son brought me to the Kwajalein Atoll in the South Pacific where he was working. And so I had that experience. And one of the things about being there that was special was that if you wanted to get from point A to point B without walking, you had to use a bike. And no one drove a car except utility workers and people who were that kind. The bike that my son supplied me with was not terribly good. And it had been some time since I'd ridden a bike, although I did a lot of it when I was in my teens. So this is about that. Riding a bike in the tropics is done cautiously when your skills show a 60-year hiatus. Practice takeoffs and landings. That's the critical part on coral paths. And as the airline pilot said, takeoffs are optional. The steering must be done serenely. Choking up on the handlebars steers you into bad places, makes you wobble. Then other riders will smirk and feel wide of you. Land well, remember the brakes, and put both feet on the ground. There's another one that's kind of an island happening. It's called Fred is a female, a feline who lives in a cardboard box on Kwajalein Atoll. Small boned, merely a year old, but her own cat and secure. Coming for friendly voices that name her Fred. Friendly fingers that scratch ear and neck, that coax her out of feral kittenhood. Tom fishes for her on the seawall. When he picks up the pole, she knows, utters a chirpy sound, takes her position nearby, and watches carefully. Should he catch a small papilio, it's her plaything, dangling on the line. Then on the ground, delectable contraband, carefully collected in the pink feline mouth and carried away. So that was one of the fun things on Kwajalein. In case the mention of coral doesn't resonate, and there's no reason why it should, unless you've been in a situation like that, coral is very poisonous. So if you get a wound and you have coral in it, you want to be very careful about treating it. And so I had lots of
I think you froze there for a
Thank you
moment,
for
Norma.
sharing that. That was absolutely delightful, Norma.
it was fun.
Okay. Oh, geez.
Thank you, Rick.
Rick, I think you froze.
Yeah, first I thought you guys froze it with. I actually have my, you might see there's another thing that says Rick Costa. I have my cell phone set up as a backup just in case. I have a Comcast, which is supposed to be like, you pay a lot of money for, and it's just not very stable in this apartment. So I wanted to again mention that for the next month, it'll be October 24th, special time. It'll be 12 noon. We'll have Elizabeth Verdun, who will be reading her poems to us from Portugal. That's why we have special time.
Oh, Rick.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick.
You bet. And Raven, did you want to say something a little bit more about the upcoming youth conference?
Yeah, so we, as you probably know, and Rick kind of mentioned earlier, our new youth summer camp sort of deal was going to be in the summer, and we, because of lack of enrollment, we moved it to the fall during school, and now it's over a series of 3 workshops over 3 months, 1-hour workshops. So for October 13th, we have, you're gonna have to forgive me if I pronounce the names wrong and correct me, Rick, but Sharon Smith, Hip Hop Can Teach Poetry Like the Classics, is in October. And then November 10th, we have Grace Loescher confirmed for Creativity Heals. And then December 8th, we're hoping for Indigo Moore, Writing to History and Culture. So I am very excited about the broad spectrum of what's being offered, and that we're opening things up to student poets. So if you know anyone who knows anyone, let me know so we can advertise.
We'll be sending out some publicity emails, and any young people, early college or high school, junior high, that would like to attend please let them know about that. Spread the word. Okay, before we close, anyone else? Thank you so much. This wonderful attendance, wonderful poems. Thank you especially to Aisha and Raven. Really great. This was an awesome. And that light over your head, Aisha, that light over your head just gives you this sort of beatific glow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And we'll have this recording. If you know people that
Thank
weren't
you,
able to
Raven.
attend,
Thank you, Aisha.
we'll have this up on the website in about a week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Raven and Aisha.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Raven.